Hello everyone and welcome to the Shakti Flow Summit. I am Helene Westlund, your Shakti guide. We will learn how to embrace our feminine flow to receive more joy, balance and energy in life. In this circle, no time exists, so everyone who watches or listens to this now or later are all included in the energy of this circle right now. Today we have a new teaching expert. It's Alyssa Kuzins. How do you pronounce it, Alyssa?
Cousins, actually.
Cousins, like cousins. Yes. So Alyssa is a yoga and meditation teacher, a podcast host, and founder of the Journal Deck. She believes that self-care has the ability to change the world, and she is on a mission to help others live in alignment with their truth. Alyssa is able to guide others in living their best life full of trust, grace, flow, clarity, and abundance. Her most recent passion project is the Journal Deck, and we will talk a lot about that today. It's a fusion of oracle cards meets journal prompts, which also has a corresponding podcast called the Self-Care Spotlight. So welcome, Alyssa.
Thank you. I appreciate this. This is going to be good. I love talking about the feminine energy and Shakti and all of that. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're so welcome. So, like we talked about before, I think we should start a little about if you can explain what the feminine force, feminine Shakti, what it means to you and how you use it in your work and daily life, of course.
Yeah, it's funny because I think like a lot of women, didn't start like this. It didn't necessarily come naturally, I would say, because society hasn't made it something that, even though it is natural, they've made it not natural. So for me, I came from more of I guess it would be more of a masculine energy, really, of how I lived my life. It was very, you do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
Very linear. And then I had this giant wake-up call okay, so maybe like around, it's funny because just like how Rebecca Campbell in Rise Sister Rise, the book, she talks about in 2012 that there was the end of the Mayan calendar and a lot of women were experiencing major shifts. And for me, it really happened in 2013. So right around the same time, I finished college and then I went to right into grad school, right? So it was like the steps. And I got there, and that summer I had started yoga. So I had just started and super new. And by the time I got to grad school from my master's in public history to work in a museum, that was the plan. Only a month in, I all of a sudden got like a major, oh no, like something isn't right. I'm not supposed to be here. And I suppressed it because my whole family and everyone was telling me it would pass. And, don't make any rash decisions. So I kept it up for about solid 2 months. At that point, I had already lost my tuition. So it was kind of like, let's ride this out. And I waited as long as I could. Then it was right before Thanksgiving. And the thought of finishing and doing finals and all of these things, my heart wasn't in it. I was crying before class, like feeling really alienated. Like I didn't feel like I was in the right space. Like I kept saying, these aren't my people. And there was nothing wrong with them. Truly nothing wrong with them. It was just me. And I felt like my people were at my yoga studio. And I told my family I'm going to have a yoga career. Even though I had just started practicing. like a couple months, literally. And they all looked at me like I was crazy and said, we're worried about you doing this. Why would you leave grad school for this? You're a great student. You get great grades. Like I graduated with like a 3.9. I had 2 majors. Like, I was doing all the right things. And then like, you're going to quit. And now what? And what the hell is a yoga career? And I just had this really deep feeling that I couldn't shake, that there was something else I was supposed to do, that I was supposed to live a different life, a more feminine life. I don't think at the time I understood what that was. I don't think I would have called it feminine. I don't think I would have called it flow or Shakti. I don't think I knew any of that. But innately on some level, I do think I knew. And I can look back and see that that's what that was. It was like that Shakti rising, right?
Yes.
Something was like shaking me at my core, that I needed to come back to my flow state. I needed to come back to that as a woman. Like I got diverted and I was coming back. And so now I can see that in hindsight, that's what that was. At the time, I didn't know what it was. And I was just crying and feeling like sick to my stomach and really feeling heavy pressure to stay the path. And just like, literally, I think people said, like, just grind it out, right?
Yeah.
Just finish. And I hate that term now, because I'm like, no, it's like soft and like go with the flow and feminine. So, and that's not to say that you can't be fierce, because I really am a strong advocate of being soft and fierce. I think that just sums up women in general. But yeah, a lot of masculine energy coming at me just to keep pushing. And I really just couldn't accept that was how it was supposed to be. And I knew I wanted something more. So I quit, I withdrew, and it wasn't easy in the beginning. I won't say that it was. I did odds and ends jobs. That was in 2013 that I quit grad school. This is 2017. And, it's been an evolution since that awakening. In the Sumunk Kid, in the Dance of the Dissident Daughter, I'm reading that now. And she says, can you keep awakening once you've already awoken? And I do think that you definitely can. Like, you keep awakening to different things and you keep evolving. That was like a big one for me. And I've kept growing. And now I have a podcast and I teach 8 classes a week. And I created this oracle card deck, journal prompts, and none of that happened overnight. But it evolved. I started by just saying yes to what I was being called to, that whatever was flowing me in that direction. And I kept saying yes and trying new things and being willing to not have so much stability, which is more masculine energy. Being okay with not having all of that stability and kind of easing into, can I be okay without that? And I could. And everyone can. It's just a matter of, it's gonna challenge you. But eventually this is just more of now a state of mind. It's not like this is really too much work anymore, because I really understand on a better level now of how to embody that feminine flow.
Yes. Oh, you're very inspiring. But I want to talk about the journal deck now. A hybrid of oracle cards and journaling. What made you think about doing the journal deck?
Yeah. It's not a very magical story, honestly. I was sitting on the couch and the idea came to my head of my clients love journal prompts and they love oracle cards, and why can't they be together? And why isn't there anything like that? That, I was kind of doing this thing where I would pull a card from like a goddess deck or something, and I sometimes would write about what I pulled. So I just thought, well, gee, like, what if there was an actual prompt that was the card and that was what you needed to know that day? And it just popped in my head, and I was like, the journal deck. Okay. Well, I looked it up and I Googled, I couldn't find anything really quite like it. No. So I literally was just, and again, this kind of is something that has come up again and again in my life, but I was just like, why not? Why not?
Why not?
So why not me? So I immediately got to researching printers and all that fun stuff. I literally have it sitting right here. So it's like right here. This is, I don't know if you can see it. Like,
oh yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, that's it. And then all the prompts, and then the back is.
How many cards are they?
52.
Ooh.
For 52 weeks in a year. So in theory, you could technically pick a different journal prompt every week. You probably won't. But I think that's, you pull what you need.
Yes.
And so if you keep pulling the same prompt, maybe you need to keep coming back to that. And you haven't quite gotten to the root of it. So yeah, it's 52 inspired journal prompts. And I'm literally shipping out the last week of September is the first shipment going out. Today I got my first wholesale order that came through in Atlanta, Georgia. So
congratulations, fabulous. So if I have it, can I just, pick a card and look at it and think about it? Or do I have to write it down? Does it come with a book, or do I have my own book?
There's no book. So those stacks, they have books because you need an explanation of like the goddess or the angel. These are words. So you don't really need necessarily an explanation of the question. It's, like here, I'll just pull one. Write in your journal today about what needs to change this week, this month, this year. So then you could, of course, just ponder on that if you wanted to, like, okay, like if you needed a quick hit. Obviously, the idea is that you are going to, at some point during your day, your week, whatever it might be, that you're going to sit down with this card and you're going to journal about that.
Yes.
So that's the idea.
Yeah. And who can benefit from using it? It's for everyone?
Yeah, I mean, women seem to be most attracted to it. I mean, even just the aesthetics of it, it's light purple and green, and so, and I really connect with women, but anyone can use it. I mean, it's for people who are seasoned journalers who just want to add something new to their journaling practice. It's for people, especially I think, who really want to start journaling, but they kind of get to the book and they open it and they're like, I have no idea what to say. Like, is this a diary? And I kind of think of this as like Dear Diary, but like a grown-up version.
Yes.
Because these are don't just write about your day. Like, I want you to really think about a thought-provoking question about your life, whether it's your self-care, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your love life, whether it's your health, whether it's your money mindset, abundance. You're gonna get whatever theme that you need for your life. It's almost like having a little life coach, like in a deck.
Yeah, that's true. What was I thinking? Yeah, if you feel you don't have the time to journal, then it's a good thing as well, because you really just have to answer the questions, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think that these don't have a time limit. It's not like I'm telling you have to write for 30 minutes.
No.
If this comes out and it's 5 minutes, then okay, it's 5 minutes. Then you got something out of your head and onto a piece of paper. And I think that there's something about getting it out of your mind and onto paper.
Yeah.
I always say, like, write it out to clear it out.
Yes.
But if you end up sitting down with that card, and I've done this with my own deck now, where I've sat down not having an intention of how long it's going to be, and I end up sitting there and writing 4 pages.
Ooh.
Because it's just kind of flowing out, and it's taken me somewhere. So I like that. It's not set in stone. There's no right or wrong. It just pull a card, tune in, ask, what do I need to know today? Pull a card, write in your journal.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I feel it's going to be the Christmas gift of the year. I want to buy it to all my friends and family. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's a very giftable gift.
Yes.
I am definitely expecting, come Black Friday, like here in the States,
Yeah.
Black Friday, I'm expecting like full-on holiday madness. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout there around holiday time. But yeah, this is, if you want to beat the holiday rush, I would order sooner than later, because
Yes,
I do think it's very giftable. Very.
Yeah.
And it's a good intro to Oracle cards,
Yeah.
because it doesn't feel super woo-woo,
Exactly.
so to speak. There's no fairies, there's no goddesses. It's not as intimidating, right?
Yeah.
And that can be, my sister, and I have several, and they were like, oh, like a goddess deck, like I don't, like what am I doing? Like what does this mean? Like can I like, is it, they think it's witchcraft or something.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, that just means wise, which is just wise. But
Anyways.
This is more approachable in a way, because they're journal prompts. Even though I do think the deck tunes into you like any Oracle card deck, it's a little more approachable. It's a little less intimidating.
Yes, exactly. And it's really something that everyone can do and benefit from, because self-care is always important. I feel.
And taking time to go introspective.
Yes. And speaking of that, you were going to take us on a little activity to go inwards.
Yes, absolutely. So I am going to be doing a visualization meditation, and this is going to be, how perfect, it's going to be on the feminine flow state. So it's called Embracing Your Flow State. It's something that I wrote as a visualization. It's for finding trust, ease, and flow. So this is going to be me reading to you, to anyone listening. It's a visualization. So the idea is that you're going to get nice and cozy. So do we want to go ahead and get started? Okay, so wherever you are, we're just going to have you be comfortable. I want you to be cozy. I want you to close your eyes, either sitting up or even lying down. It's totally up to you. We're going to tune in to the feminine energy flow state to help us sink into deep universal trust, ease, and flow. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now take your hands onto your belly and let it be soft. Let your belly be soft. Just focus on the gentle rising and falling of your belly beneath your hands. Let this predictable rhythm begin to take you deeper and deeper into a state of rest. And as you begin to focus on the gentle flow of your inhales and exhales, imagine if your life were as rhythmic as your breath, like a river constantly flowing. Now go to that river within you. Imagine yourself walking alone along a strong, powerful, yet calm riverbed that has just enough of a current to be moving, but not so strong that you cannot stand in it. You notice its curves, where it gets wider, where it gets smaller. You hear the swish of water flowing over rocks with ease. It doesn't resist the rocks. It just moves gracefully over, between, beneath, and on top of them. Now imagine yourself so drawn to this river that you take off your shoes and tiptoe into a shallow spot. At first, it feels chilly. But as you sink down into the rocks and the mud with the bubbles of whooshing water flowing past and around your ankles, it begins to feel refreshing. You feel the current push slightly against you, but you do not fight it. Instead, you notice a flower on the side of the riverbed, so you bend down to pick it up. What color is it? Does it have a smell? Whatever you imagine is perfect. Then before you know it, you have the urge to place the flower into the river. And as you do, it immediately takes off with the steady flow. It doesn't resist. It doesn't question. It just floats away on top of the water, shining brightly against the contrast of the earth beneath it as it goes along. You then have the overwhelming sense that you are that flower. Even more, you are also that river. The flow state is deep, deep inside of your feminine bones, and it is trusting and graceful and at ease, but it is also constantly changing and evolving. Just as the river ebbs and flows and changes shape, so do you. Because you are a woman, and woman is a changeable creature born of creative energy. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and release any negative thoughts about this constantly shifting feminine quality. Another breath in. Another release. You realize now that through flow, we can create stability. I am made of stars and rivers. I am an ever-evolving creation, and I am in flow with my life. I am made of rivers and stars. I am an ever-evolving creation, and I am in flow with my life. Last deep inhale. And an exhale. You can slowly blink open your eyes and Sat Nam.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
I like that one.
Yeah, tuning in with that flow state, the river.
Yeah, with the river, and we just describe it going around the stones and underneath and above and around. Oh, yes. Yes, that's how we should live our lives.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So do we have more time for those little questions? Can we hear one more?
Absolutely. So as promised, since I am the journal girl here, I have some journal prompts that I wrote down, and I wanted to pose two of them for you, you guys to think about. One would be, if I were in flow with my life, I would stop, fill in the blank, and I would start, fill in the blank. So that's one. It's a start and a stop. And then the second one, this one might take a little more deep thought.
Yeah.
What beliefs need to shift in order for me to step into my feminine flow state? So that one might take a little bit more of a deep dive, thinking about the beliefs and the mindsets that you have that might need to change to be able to really step into everything that we talked about, to be that river, to be in flow, you're going to need to clean things up. You're going to need to let go of things, shift things. It's inevitable. It happens. Yeah. And it's all good. What needs to fall away will fall away, and what needs to come will come. And that's what I want to leave you with. So there's a visualization. You got 2 journal prompts. Mm-hmm. And I do want to add in before I leave, along with the journal prompts, talking journals, and this is this deck that we're referring to. Mm-hmm. As I said, I wanted to offer anyone that's viewing this and listening a code that, of course, you can listen to, or that you can use on our website. So we're just at thejournaldeck.com. So if you go to thejournaldeck.com/shop and you shop our deck, we are going to offer you guys a code for 10% off, a special code. So it would just be Shakti 10 and make it all uppercase, Shakti 10. And you get 10% off.
Oh,
how are you?
Thank you so much. I will definitely use that one.
Yes, for sure.
I'm so looking forward to the deck.
Yes, and we do ship international, so I should add that. We do ship. It's a flat rate, $14 international shipping. Unless you're in Canada, then it's $9.50 because Canada is a little bit cheaper for us to ship to.
Okay. And Europe? How about Europe?
Europe is $14 flat rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, flat rate. Everywhere else is flat rate international. And then obviously in the United States, it is a flat shipping fee, and it's not $14. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you and listen to you about your life and your beliefs and your project, the Journal Deck.
Thank you.
And I think I speak for everyone when I say that. It's really valuable. Appreciate it a lot. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day, and check us out at the Journal Deck.
Yeah. Keep the Shakti flowing.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.